Hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing? It is Red Beard. It's a damn fine day to talk about a book, and today we are here for a book review. We're going to talk about The Corpse Garden by S.H. Cooper. I came across this book on the shelf at Half Price Books. I think it was a couple bucks, like 2.49. And you can buy this book right now on Amazon just because I went and looked for like $5.24. You have this shipped right to you. It's about 90 pages, 95 pages, and like 14 stories in here. So the stories are really short, probably somewhere between 4 and 12 pages. I don't know if there's really any story in here that gets up around or past 15 pages. For me, again, a lot of my stuff comes situationally. I've read a couple of, I guess, more difficult books here lately, and the shortness of these stories just hit right for me. And the way that the reveals were delivered and paced, I mean, the timing, I mean, I don't know anything, but for me, like, that has to be hard. I mean, to deliver like an 8 page story and to have like still have like some reveals and twists just timed right in there. To me, it felt really cool. Now, I will say this came out in 2016. I believe it's one of Cooper's first books. I don't know that to be true. I have read a couple other of her works. I read the Festering Ones, which was like a novella, like a short novella, and then I read a book called All That's Fair, which was also short stories. And I liked both of those books, but I will say that I really liked this, and some of that's situational, some of it's just, I mean, I thought it was. I thought the shortness and the reveals and the originality, it just hit right for me. So I'm giving this book 4 stars. Yeah, I really dug it. I'm going to tell you about my four favorite stories in the book briefly. Now, I do have shorts on shorts up for all the stories. So if you want to go check those out, check them out. But my four favorite stories in the book, in this order, and I will then briefly talk about them. But number four, the murder in my backyard. In that one, um, a girl buys a house, and there are some rumors that a girl went missing from this house. She starts to get visited by a crow, and she feeds the crow. Before long, the crow has friends showing up with it, and she feeds the crow every day. The crow starts to bring back gifts for her: a twig, a rock, a button, some a tatter of clothing, a finger bone. So, she sets off into the woods to try to track down if this is in fact from the missing girl. But then there's like another level. There's another little bitty level to the twist of this story. And again, pacing, timing was really cool of that. So really cool with that. So number three, my third favorite story in the book is "Don't Look for Lacey Lynn." It's a bit of Bloody Mary, and I'll get to that. But standard sleepover type story with the local urban legend of a girl named Lacey Lynn that ran away. And because no one was paying attention to her, she didn't feel important. She thought if she went and ran away, that they would come and find her and thus make her feel important. Nobody came, or not early enough. It was an unseasonably cold night. She had to take refuge in a cave, and they found her frozen to death in the cave like the next day. So, if you say, um, "I'm looking for you, Lacey Lynn," and you say it 3 times, she starts to show up and come find me. Come find me. If you ignore it, she's going to haunt you forever. If you go try to find her and you go to the woods slash cave where her, demise happened, then she is so happy that she finally has someone that cares about her that she will never let you leave. So that is Don't Look for Lacey Lynn. My number two favorite story in the book is the very last story in the book, and it is called "My Wife Left Me," and it's a husband and wife having a conversation over the breakfast table. And she says, "Just let me leave." So, and it's only 4 pages long. It's the last story in the book. I may have already mentioned that, but um, you're like, shit, man. I mean, what? She's sitting there tied to the chair. She wants to leave and he's got her restrained, won't let her leave. That's not what's going on. It's not what you think. And you get a little bit deeper into the story. She just wants to leave. He doesn't want to let her go. And then we actually look at her, like from the author's perspective. The author lets us look at her, and we see that half of her face is destroyed, busted out teeth, swollen closed eye, and you're like, this domestic abuse. He's beat the shit out of her. She wants to leave. He won't let her leave. It's not what you think. That's not what's going on here. This has been a happy marriage. This has been a happy marriage of a decade. These two people love each other, but she still wants to leave, and he does not want to let her go. And so, how can that be? How can it be that um, she can't just leave on her own? How can it be that she's all messed up, but it wasn't him that did it? It was a really, really cool story. And again, 4 pages. This is hard to say. I don't know that I've ever read a better 4 page story, but the pacing and the timing and the way, you know, we were finally given the answer to what the hell is going on here. I don't know. It was a really, really cool 4 page story. And then my favorite story in the book is Murder in Miniature. And in that one, we our main character is a young evidence clerk at the local sheriff's office, and there has been some murders taking place, and they've caught the guy, and the evidence starts to come in, and there were 5 bodies, 5 people that this killer killed, and there is a complete perfect replication of each of the kill houses. I mean, perfect. You know, everything done perfectly in miniature. Even the kill scenes, even the murder scenes, even how each person was killed. And for me, the detail of that, the creativity, the dedication of that was really cool for me. I mean, this idea that someone was committing these murders almost in this artistic like format, and then taking the time to recreate everything in miniature, and it was almost like without really spending any time at all inside the killer's head. I mean, the killer himself really, or herself, or whatever, really doesn't play much of a role in this at all. But you're like, goes out and does the deed, comes back and spends all this time to recreate it and live there and be in that situation. And, when that wraps up, when that recreation is done, then it's time to go do it again. But the cool thing about this story is, again, like I said, there were 5 bodies, there were 6 miniature houses. And yeah, and so the twist up there, the way that kind of reveal happened, just cool. It was a cool story. So look, I've read a lot of independent small press books. That used to be kind of my shtick. That's what I did. So when I see authors that I've read, back in the day, 3 years ago, a lot of books like this were sent to me for review. So when I see authors that I know, that I remember from that time, like on the shelf at my local bookshop, in Lexington, Kentucky, then I generally always pick them up. I grabbed this one. It was cheap. It was short. It was short stories. I did not expect for this book for me to like it as much as I did. I mean, I knew I would like it, but I mean, to like really like it as much as I did. These are really, really great. And I don't know, there was a story in here that I didn't like, but these are really, really great, short stories. I mean, damn near flash fiction. Maybe, I mean, I don't know what classifies something as flash fiction. To me, it's if it's more than 2 or 3 pages, it's not. I don't know. I don't know what the scientific, you know, um, determination is on that. But yeah, I like this book a lot more than I expected to. So I'm at 4 stars. This is The Corpse Garden. This is S.H. Cooper. It came out in 2016. Like I said, I went to Amazon just to remember the titles that I'd already read, All That's Fair and the Festering ones. But you can pick this up for $5.24 right now on Amazon if it interests you. So that's it. This has been Well Red Beard. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.